Cheers. I want to tell my fellow puckheads a little story. The year was 2000. I was watching that year's playoffs, and which were on ESPN and ABC at the time. And while I was pulling for the Avs to break through, and we were beating up the then named Phoenix Coyotes, something else was happening. The St. Louis Blues, who won the President's Trophy that year, finished with the best record in the league. They were being beaten by the San Jose Sharks, the 8th seed in the Western Conference, in round one. That was the moment where I really learned that anything and everything is possible in this wonderful sport. And since then, I've seen a lot of crazy occurrences in the Stanley Cup playoffs. A lot of so many weird upsets that should have never happened in the first place. Choke jobs. We all remember what happened with the Bruins in 2010, and of course 4 years later it was the San Jose Sharks who blew it against the Kings, who went on to win the Cup. And of course that was their second one. Their first one was wild. After all, they were the 8th seed. I think they were like the overall 16 seed overall in the playoffs, yet they somehow won it. Went 16-4. They were road warriors. So yeah, I've seen my share of crazy things in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Fast forward to now, and I just watched the Edmonton Oilers decimate Florida Panthers in Game 6 of this year's final. This series was over. Florida had this thing. And I'm not just saying that because they're up 3-0. I'm saying it because the Oilers played so poorly in those first three. Remember, the first two games they only scored once. They had something going a bit in Game 3, but Florida was too much for them. All of a sudden, Edmonton's become world beaters, and Florida doesn't know which way is up. I mean, it's crazy. And yes, this is the league where reverse sweeps are possible. 4 of them have happened in NHL history, but they're still supposed to be rare. And Florida, I just said on social media, I'm just gonna borrow from the late great Dennis Green. The Panthers are who we thought they were. Well, they're at least who I thought they were, because everybody else thought they were cup contenders, heavyweights, a stacked team. That team has just disappeared. You can't see them. And as a result of this, we not only have a series, we have we have a hell of a finale. I mean, first Game 6 was just, it was a mess. Florida had 2 shots on goal throughout the entire first period. Now, they came alive in the second, but by the time they did, it was too late. They were already down 3-0. And yeah, I have to talk about that overturned goal. That's a bunch of bull. Because it looked onside to me. And even though it was really close, usually when it's that close, the lie they tell is inconclusive, and they let it stand. Instead, they overturned the thing. The refs won in Game 7. They did. They wanted to see what would happen. So, yeah, that overturned call just sapped all the momentum out of the Panthers. It was gone. So, so it's crazy. But yeah, we have Game 6. Game 6 ended with the Oilers winning 5-1 in a game where Connor McDavid had no points. He entered with 42, but no points in this game. And Leon Draisaitl assisted on the first goal, and that was it. And as a result of this, we have this coming up. It all comes down to this. Game 7. Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. This is the 18th Cup Final to go 7. It's the first since 2019. And it will take place Monday in Sunrise. The Cup will be there one more time. Somebody will win it. Either the Panthers will get their first one in their 31-year franchise history, or the Oilers will win for the first time since 1990 and end a 31-year Canadian Cup drought. And Connor McDavid will finally have his big one. Well, either way, he's going to have a big one because he's going to win the Conn Smythe regardless of who wins Monday or not, because he's having a hell of a year. But yeah, so it all comes down to this: do or die. And I know, and I'm an Avs fan. I know a little something about that because the Avs in 2001 played in one of the previous Game 7s in the Cup Final, and we won it. So we'll see who will hoist Lord Stanley's Cup on Monday. It's going to be good. So that is my recap of Game 6. If you like this video, click the like button if you're on YouTube. Click subscribe if you want more. If you're on TikTok and Instagram, feel free to hit that follow button. My story about Game 6 will be featured. Check it out when you can. And normally I would say I'll be back to recap Game 7. I will recap Game 7 later and congratulate the winner. But I'm gonna be around either Saturday. I'm gonna be back here either Saturday or Sunday to give a little bit of a history lesson regarding Game 7 of the Cup Final, because it's a hell of a occurrence when it happens. It's happened 17 previous times. It's the 18th. So a history lesson is coming regarding that. So stay tuned.